Thanks for tuning in today to Radville BMX, the 30-day BMX Bicycle Challenge. So today, day one, first bike in the lineup, and my first bike from actually when I was a kid. So don't want to say the first bike I had, because I had a bunch of Frankensteins that were probably built kind of chopper style, but this is actually my first new BMX bike that I got approximately 1984, Christmas time. So an 85 model, 1985. And rebuilt and spray bombed in the 90s, 98 to be exact, and restored here recently, probably 2019 in the state that you find it today, right? So made some modifications and improvements to kind of build this out completely custom. So let me just warn any purists out there, you probably don't want to check this out. Probably already you've gotten disgusted and left, and no harm, no foul, right? But this is purely a custom build. But the reality is, right, it's a Diamondback Viper, so we both know what that really means in terms of BMX history. But a very important model that this facilitated, right? And I was a perfect kid for this bike. So what that means is this was not the most expensive BMX bike on the block by any means. In fact, I believe it to be a high 10 steel edition, so that means chromoly mixed in with some steel, making it very affordable, just above a department store bike. But this did actually come from a bike shop, and my parents got it for me, and I gotta tell you, couldn't have been happier, and I still love it to this day. So let's go through it, right? That's what this is about. So what's right, what's wrong in the BMX bike challenge here at Radville BMX. So starting with the obvious, right? So the color scheme here, red and black. Really like that as a nice throwback to the old school. Tough looking job here with the spray bomb. I did that myself. So I actually took it down and primered it. But as you can tell, we went over a few decals. So pretty funny, right? So that's how we did in the 90s. In fact, explains the head tube, right? Because you can actually see the diamond head tube on there. But got the diamond gusset, so you know it's a legit Diamondback Viper. Red line cranks. These are completely mid-school, so not appropriate at all, but you can see how I fell in love with the red and black chain wheel on there. So that was a fit, and of course they're attached to these cranks. They weren't coming off, but 175s on there with some mongoose pedals, late 80s, probably even early 90s on there. Skyway mags, 5-star. Love these. Looks to be pretty good condition. Actually a coaster brake, so my favorite, right? Great for cruising around, especially with the kids. So, you know, if they're not keeping up, I don't have to sit there and ride my brakes the whole time. Just kind of, you know, coast a little bit. Got the dice, of course, on the valves. Love me some dice valve covers. Over here, we got the Diamondback C-clamp, so you can see it's stamped and etched in. So probably more of an 87 by the looks of all the stamping on it, but definitely in good shape. Diamondback drain pipe seat post. Definitely later edition after the drain pipe in 87 came out. So it's probably an 88 or so, but it you know, it still fit the seat post tube here. On the seat, we got Diamondback etched in. Looks more like a 90s cruiser saddle, but pretty comfy, so it works for me. Handlebars, Diamondback, correct. ODI mushroom grips. Diamondback stem with the stenciling. Lifted up just a little bit, not too much. Got a black headset on there. And what else we got? Red Panda Racer tires, 20 by 175. These are new repops, but they're in good condition, great to cruise around in. So all in all, loving this bike, right? So here's the funny story with this bike. So talking about Christmas 1984, going into the 85 year, wanted a new bike. BMX was taking off, really doing great, and wanted a piece of that. So I'd had some custom bikes that I had built out of, you know, various 10 speeds and 3 speeds and anything you could get to throw together. In fact, they used to call me Schlep in the neighborhood because I always had a bike that I looked like I schlepped together. So that was pretty funny. So this bike was definitely the nicest bike in the neighborhood at the time. So when I got it on Christmas morning, I was just happy as could be, right? So I call up my best buddy up the street, tell them, hey, you know, how's it going, man? Get together, you know? So cool. All right. Did you get that bike? Nah, I didn't get it. Kind of, you know, downplayed it a little bit. Thought I'd leave some suspense for him. He's like, all right, that's cool. Well, yeah, let's get together. So I'll meet you outside. All right, cool. So I go out there on my bike, riding up the hill. So there was a hill between us, and I'm, you know, pedaling up the hill. So the first thing he sees is the handlebars, right? So it's funny because he tells me after he sees it and he's so happy and realizes that I'm actually on a new bike, he goes, oh man, I felt so bad. I said, man, that poor kid, they got him a new pair of handlebars. And it was so funny because I just kind of spoke to, you know, where we came from, right? That we could be happy that we got a new set of handlebars. But yeah, parents totally hooked me up. Love you, Mom and Dad. It was the greatest Christmas gift, basically, that I recall. I'm sure there were some great ones, but got to tell you, the new BMX bike definitely topped the list, right? So I've dragged this around with me since the 80s. Love this bike. And here it is today for your viewing pleasure. And again, to you purists, apologies in advance, but I love this thing. It's a great little cruiser. It's not the everyday rider, but it's definitely fun, right? So enjoy this, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Radville BMX 30-day BMX challenge, bike number 1, day 1. Take care. Later.